All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling incredible. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach, a self esteem development expert, starting with my own. And I want to welcome you to another edition of Good Morning Millionaire. The way this show is designed is it is nourishment, it's soul food for the entrepreneur. We feel like entrepreneurs are the best people on the planet. We feel like if you don't have entrepreneurs, what you got is a whole lot of problems. What you got is an undeveloped society. What you got is undeveloped human potential. And so our whole play is expanding your entrepreneur mindset, making it so that you become more and more powerful, making it so that you're clear that when you become more valuable, you become more powerful, making it sure that you have first and foremost in your mind what you can do for your country, not what your country can do for you. You know what I mean? What you can do for your community, not what your community can do for you. What you can do for your family, not what your family can do for you. Check it out, man. Life is about service. And I hope everybody's feeling good this morning. Look, I'm going to give it back to you, though. This is about you right now. We checking in. Make sure you check in. What kind of business do you have? Rep your city. I'm going to call in right now on this live line.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
You gotta love it. Thank you. Hold on.
Please announce yourself.
All right, y'all. What's up, Vonda? Vita Lachey is in the house. What's up? Hadassah. I see Hadassah made it in here.
Announce yourself.
We got the whole Fab Lab in the house.
All participants are muted.
Kimberly's in the house.
Entry and exit tones are off.
Mr. Terry made it in. Val, what's up, Val? Hey, special shout out to everybody I just now saw in Miami. We had an incredible time and right on cue. There's my man, Big Will. Hello. That's my man, Big William, right there. My man, Big Will. Gavin is in the house. Gavin, I can't believe we ain't see you in Miami, bro. But it's all good. Check it out. What we were talking about in Miami this weekend is this whole idea of attitude and how powerful your attitude is. But there's a bunch of characteristics that I believe could help you if you knew about them. How many of y'all saw last week's newsletter? Can I get a fire emoji if you clicked on last week's newsletter? I know you're subscribed probably if you tune in the mornings, but who got last week's? If you didn't read last week's newsletter, I'm telling you right now, go check that thing. Search your inbox for last Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon and check that newsletter out. I guarantee you there's some jewels in there, some jewels that you can use, some news you can use to help your family, help your ambition, grow your goals. Because everybody wants to be a success. And when you ask people, yo, what does it take to be a success? Everybody kind of like gives you different answers. You know what I mean? Why do some people make it to the top and then other people's just languish in mediocrity? How come we can be in the same company, be selling the same products, have the same services, have the same corporate staff we depend on, have the same presentations, have the same information, have the same love for the people, and yet one person crushes it and another one is just stuck in mediocrity? These are big questions. Anybody ever noticed that? Anybody ever wondered that? And while the answers to how to make it can be kind of subjective, what we do here in the morning is we compare and we contrast and we look for patterns. Somebody say this in the comments. Intelligence is just pattern recognition. Intelligence is just pattern recognition. Check it out. There are some common characteristics. There are some common principles and attributes of those who achieve success methodically and repeatedly. There are repeated patterns and actions that seem to lead towards inevitable success. You hear me? Now you say that ain't all that surprising, but let me tell you what's surprising, y'all. When I give you these this morning, you ain't really going to notice a lot of revelations. What you're going to notice is that it's more like a reminder. So what that tells us is that successful people execute these attributes and you don't. Oh, snap. How I'm going to say that? Oh, snap. How I'm going to say that? I hope I ain't in the wrong place to be real. Right? What 7 attributes do high achievers all have in common? Yeah, intelligence is just pattern recognition. Let them know. Intelligence is just pattern recognition. Oh, I had to shout that out. Valerie got the nonprofit for HIV and domestic violence. You know, make sure y'all holler at Valerie. Yeah, intelligence is just pattern recognition, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you some patterns. Let's rock through these. We only got about 11 minutes left. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's go. The first one is self-belief. 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 Belief in yourself. You know, we always talk about how confidence is situational. Well, what can you do to make this one of the situations where you actually have some? You know, you'll hear me describe, oh, you're confident when you're telling your child what they need to do, you know, but you're not so confident when you're talking to your coworker. Or you're not so confident when you're talking to your manager, or you're not so confident when you're talking to the C-suite. You're not so confident when you're in that performance evaluation. What can you do to work on your self-belief? What can you do to adjust your mental posture for success? What can you do to make sure you believe you're capable of achieving this? This belief has to extend to the products and the services you offer. This belief has to extend to the company you're a part of. A strong belief system seems hella obvious, but most people don't possess it. Most people don't have it. Most people look outside themselves for motivation. Like they're looking outside themselves for the money they can make rather than looking inside themselves for the money they can earn. And that one factor, the fact that subconsciously they recognize that they are in it for themselves, starts to lower their self-belief. It starts to lower their confidence because they don't have a why that's based around service. This is what I mean by when you become valuable, you become powerful. Am I making sense to somebody out there? Your self-belief is based on the fact that you know. I'm going to tell you something that makes us never falter. We know we're doing the right thing. We know we really have people's back. So even when we make mistakes, even when somebody comes at us and accuses us, like maybe we did it with intent, we're unflappable because we have self-belief. We know that our morals are in the right place. We know that we've got a moral compass that is calculating correctly. You get what I mean? We have self-belief, not just in our company, not just in our products and services, but in our own intentions, in our own integrity, in our own honor, in our own character. Rank yourself 1 to 7. 7 with the highest possible. 1, I really need to work on this. Where are you with your self-belief? While you're doing that, and then put the number and then put self-belief. Put the number and then put self-belief and then give it a share so that you can share that with an accountability partner, or you can hold yourself accountable a year from now when Facebook reminds you of what you had put on your page back in 2022. You hear what I'm saying? Here's the second one for you. Second repeated characteristic. You see this over and over and over and over and over and over again when it comes to the successful. Number 2 is they take advantage of opportunities. They take advantage of opportunities. First, they recognize the opportunity. That's mindset. You know why you got to use mindset to recognize the opportunity? Somebody write this in the comments. A lot of times, opportunity shows up as adversity. You should type that in and lock it into your mind. You should type it in so it locks it into your mind. Check it out. A lot of times, the reason you can't see opportunity is it's disguised as adversity. Opportunity shows up as adversity. Opportunity shows up as adversity. So that's why most people miss the first step of being able to recognize opportunity. But then the second step is acting on it. Millionaires acting on that opportunity, not passing a buck to somebody else, acting on that opportunity because it's elusive. I'm trying to tell you, opportunity exists all over the place, but most people can't see it because you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. Some people fear it. You hear me? Some people fear it because it involves change. So they don't even want to see the opportunity. You hear me? But I'm going to tell you the most one, and that's why it goes back to number 1. Most people do not believe they're capable of changing this crazy world. And I'm not saying you're going to change the whole 7 billion people, but I am saying you can start with changing yourself. Then you can start with changing the people who give you the gift of influence over their lives. You can take advantage of that opportunity when your sister friend isn't feeling so good. You can take advantage of that opportunity when you see the client calls in and they got kind of down in the dumps. You can take advantage of the opportunity when you see your management is kind of overwhelmed. You can take advantage of the opportunity when you see that lady carrying those groceries into her car and she can barely kind of handle it all on her own. You can take advantage of the opportunity when you see a glaring opportunity for improvement there at your workplace. And instead of saying, that ain't my job, or they don't pay me enough for this, you step up to the plate and you handle it. Millionaires, there are advantages to taking it. There are advantages and opportunity, but you've got to take them. You've got to take advantage. Nobody's going to give you advantage. You have to take advantage. And a lot of times, the way you take advantage is going that extra mile because it's never crowded. Can I get a witness? Somebody say opportunity shows up as adversity. And then let me see what you give yourself as a score on taking advantage of opportunities. Do you know how many opportunities you had last week to double your income? You know how many opportunities you've seen since you were a teenager to have made $1 million? If you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, you've probably passed hundreds of opportunities to make $1 million. I still remember when Bitcoin came out. You've had hundreds of these Bitcoin type opportunities, but you know why people can't see them? Because you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. You just weren't ready. What do you give yourself on being able to recognize opportunity and take advantage? Take advantage. Give yourself a score on taking advantage and then give us a share. Give us a share, millionaire. Here's the third one. Have the right associations. When you look at the successful, when you look at the massively successful, you'll see every time they have the right associations. Oh, check it out. Now, don't confuse it. They'll show up to the club with the entourage, a bunch of hangers on. They'll have one guy whose job it is just to pour drinks, or another guy whose job it is just, I ain't going to go there, but there's all kinds of things that they'll just have a hangers on or an entourage member there to do, right? Don't confuse that with their inner circle. Not if they're the type of person that's going to stay in the I belong. Not if they're the person that's going to achieve success. But what's a little bit harder is keep success. I guarantee you this, they're going to have the right associations. Do you hear me? They're going to have the right associations. Give yourself a score on how intentional you are about hanging out with the right people, hanging out with other successful people. You know, we were just in Miami. I can count on one hand how many people pulled me aside and said, man, this is the issue. Man, how is it that you've been able to achieve that? How are you able to consistently, hey, what can I be doing in this situation? Hey, this is what I'm going into. What are you doing to acknowledge and then cultivate the right associations in your life? What are you doing to network with your best customers? Somebody write that in the comments. Network with your best customers. Do you know where your best customers hang out? Do you know what your best customers read? What kind of associations are you creating, right? What kind of associations are you in? Are you in a Toastmasters? Are you in a Rotary Club? Check this out. Check this out. I see Nefertari in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Nefertari, are you a member of your Chamber of Commerce? Y'all see that? That's what leadership look like. Look at all them people she tagging. You know what I mean? That's somebody who wants to change the world. You know what I'm saying? But check it out, y'all. I want to ask you something. How many of you are a member of your Chamber of Commerce? Do you know what a Chamber of Commerce is? Do you even know what a Chamber of Commerce is? Right? What associations are you in? What groups are you in? Are you volunteering for a committee at your church? What about the Parent Teachers Association? What about your homeowners association? Oh, you say, Hazik, I live in an apartment community. Well, what are you doing to start an association? Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you live in an apartment community and you help people get homes, sounds to me like you live in a gold mine. Just for instance, what are you doing to cultivate and cherish the right associations? Give yourself a score on that and then give me a share. Give yourself a score on how well you stay away from poisonous people. You know, the people that can't seem to get anywhere, not just show up for trips, not just show up for seminars and workshops, but I mean in life. Y'all remember the mannequin challenge? Well, these are the ones that are doing the mannequin challenge in real life. Y'all remember that? It's like I'm looking at you and you're frozen. It's like I'm watching a Zoom. You know what I'm saying? My man Mike Stroud in the house. Let's go, Valerie. Let's go. So y'all can reach out to Valerie, who has that nonprofit about HIV and domestic violence, and you can holler at her. Like, what are the benefits of being in that Chamber of Commerce? You see what you're doing? You're expanding your associations. You're expanding your associations. Have a mentor or two or three. All right, give yourself a score on that. Here's number 4. Here's number 4. Here's number 4. Everybody ready? Expose yourself to what's new. Expose yourself to what's new. That's number 4. Expose yourself to what's new. Listen, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett both practice something they call random intelligence, varied intelligence. And they'll use it in all kinds of ways. I'm going to tell you a real simple way. You know how you always drive to work the same way? Or you always drop your kids off to school the same way? Or you always go to the gym the same way? Or you always walk around your neighborhood the same way? Switch it up. Switch it up. I dare you. Expose yourself to something new today. If you're not learning every day, remember, your competition is. Somebody type that in the comments. If I'm not learning every day, I'm falling behind the competition. Write that out. I dare you. I dare you. If I'm not learning every day, I'm falling behind the competition. I dare you write that out and really embrace it. 80% of the knowledge that you learn is irrelevant and obsolete every 5 years. Every 5 years, 80% of the knowledge about your industry is obsolete. Every 5 years. Every 5 years. Millionaires, new information is essential to your success. New information is essential to your success. Do you hear me? That's right, Aisha. You better let them know. Unless you like most salespeople who already know everything, unless you like most entrepreneurs that you can't tell nothing because they know it all. If that's you, lucky you. Come teach us a seminar. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to be a know-it-all. I'm trying to be a learn-it-all. And I may never do it, but it's worth it trying. It's so fun. It's fascinating. I love it. Here's number 4. I'm sorry. Here's number 5. That's right. That's right, D-Money. My man D-Money, I saw him this weekend. Vito, where was you this weekend? Where y'all was at? Y'all tripping. Tell him, Nefertari. You're tripping out here. We had a ball, right? Neff know what I'm talking about. Here go number 5. Have the answers your prospects and customers need. Have the answers your customers and prospects need. Right? How you going to do that? Well, you're going to have to learn your stuff inside out, because this is what I want you to understand. Remember, number 1, we were talking about self-belief. A lot of your self-belief is going to come from how easily you can serve other people. Remember, I just now said that? Check it out. The more you can solve problems, the easier path you're going to have to success. Prospects don't want facts. You hear me? They want answers. Somebody write that in the comments. They don't want facts. They want answers. And if you're going to have them answers, in order for you to have those answers, you got to have superior knowledge about what you do. You got to be able to explain it in terms of how your prospect is going to be able to use it. It's all about you being relevant. You got to be sharp. After they explain their problem, you can't be talking about something that don't apply. They're going to be like, who is this wasting my time? They're going to get irritated. And then before you know it, you're going to be irritated. Am I making sense to somebody out there? Here's number 6. Take responsibility. Somebody say, take responsibility and give me a share. Number 6, take responsibility. Take responsibility. That's it. That's it. That's it. Prospects want answers, not your facts. That's why we, always talk about how facts tell, but stories sell, right? Because in the story, we see the product or service or information or idea or characteristic in action. That's why stories are amazing, because we get to see the values in action. We get to hear about the product in action. We get to hear about how the idea helped this person, but we get to see it in action through your story. That's a little bonus for you. But number 6 is take responsibility, y'all. Take responsibility. We all blame other people to a degree. But there's an inverse proportion. It's like a reverse proportionate kind of thing. I forget what you call that in math, but check this out. The lower your degree of blame, the higher your degree of success. Somebody write that in the comments because this is important. The lower your degree of blame, the higher your degree of success. I was talking to one of my sister friends yesterday, right? And he's talking about the fact that like I was giving baby girl some opportunity for improvement. And what I recognized in myself yesterday is that sometimes as a leader, if you aren't articulate, people can confuse an opportunity for improvement with you telling them they did something wrong. Nothing could be further from the truth. Check it out. Stuff don't be your fault. It ain't my fault that my parents didn't know what they were doing when they had me. Now, I looked at them as a god and a goddess, but turns out they were just two people who made love. And hopefully they made love, because some of us, it wasn't even love they made. So it ain't their fault. But guess what? It ain't my fault neither. But who got to live in this body? Who got to live with this mind? Who has to live and look through these eyes? Who has to hear with these ears? Who has to taste with this mouth? Who has to smell with this nose? Who has to live with this life? That means it might not be my fault, but check this out. It's my responsibility. And blame is always going to be tied to success in reverse proportion. The lower your degree of blame, the less you blame people, the higher you're going to achieve. Get the job done yourself. The only healthy response to any crisis is to take full responsibility. Because guess what? When it pops up again, then people you blaming right now, they ain't even gonna be there that time. You were at the scene of every crime. You're the one that's there every time something go wrong in your life. It's always you. The rest of these characters and players seem to change. The only healthy response to any crisis, any obstacle, any shortfall is to take complete and total responsibility. It may not be my fault, but it's always going to be my responsibility. Why? Because I'm the leader. I'm the great one. I'm the one that's going to show them what a legend looks like. So I don't have a luxury. Legends ain't got the same luxuries. Somebody type that in the comments. The legendary ain't got the same luxuries. Petty blame is rampant out here. This person stepped on my toes. This person stepped on my toes. Forgive them, Pops. They know not what they do. I thought the whole game was being Christ-like. Huh? They stepped on my toes. What if I move beyond my flesh to the spirit? What if I realize when somebody deserves love the least is when they need it the most? Oh, this person stepped on my toes. Forgive them. Pops, they know not what they do. See, now I'm moving in the spirit. And let me tell you something about spirit. You connect the spirit and you can inspire. Ain't nobody inspired by you living in your flesh. You being all petty and tiny and human. Like your man Thor saying the Avengers. Y'all remember that? We got any Avengers fans in the house? Y'all remember what Thor was watching? He's like, you guys are so tiny and petty and human. You know what I'm saying? What we're going to do is move past that flesh and we're going to get into the spirit, y'all. We're going to get into the spirit, right? We're going to start to be inspirational because we're connecting to the spirit, not the flesh. Y'all get me? And the way you connect the spirit is you just take responsibility. The way you connect the spirit is you grow in love. You grow in leadership. You talk to this person with the direct intention to grow their morale, to grow their spirit, to grow their sense of soul. That's why you're speaking to them right now. Not to vent your own petty grievances, your own fleshly needs. You're never going to ascend. What you want to do is get in touch with that divinity inside. You got to become an expert on your destiny instead of an expert on your distraction. Here's number 7 I got for you, and we out of here, man. I hope this has been helpful this morning. Go check out your newsletter. Go check out your newsletter. Go check out your newsletter. Yeah, man. The legendary ain't got the same luxuries, baby. The legendary ain't got the same luxuries. But somehow luxury seems to show up. You know what I'm talking about? Good, Tori. I'm glad you made it in, Queen. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, this is the last one I got for you. Number 7, you got to be willing to risk. When you look at all these great ones, they're all willing to risk. This is probably the most crucial factor, y'all. Somebody type this in the comments. No risk, no reward. Type that in the comments. No risk, no reward. That's probably the biggest understatement in the whole world of entrepreneurship. No risk, no reward. It should be stated, no risk, no nothing. No risk. Now you can't make no mistakes that end up being, a Harvard University instead of Heartbreak Hotel. Oh, it starts off like Heartbreak, but it turns into Howard. It turns into Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. No risk, no nothing. Risk is the basis of success. That's why self-esteem is so that's why developing your self-esteem is so important, y'all. Developing your self-esteem is hella important because it's almost like you're at the casino table. Every time you ask for that raise or talk to that customer that you didn't know and you aren't sure if they're ready to buy something yet, or you ask for that discount when you're negotiating at the store, you're gambling. You give that compliment to that gentleman you done had your eyes on, right, ladies? Right? It ain't always gotta be us. But sometimes it's us. Fellas, you give a compliment to that lady you done had you're gambling. You're gambling. You sign up for this class. You raise your hand because you have an idea in the meeting. You're gambling. You're gambling, right? Well, imagine how much easier you can gamble if you have a whole row of chips. Imagine how much harder it is to gamble if you only have a couple. Those chips are called self-esteem. And the key to you developing your self-esteem is you participating in the disciplines that lead to value. What are you doing to participate in the disciplines that lead to value? Because not participating in the disciplines that lead to value lowers your self-esteem. Your subconscious hears every lie you've ever told. Your subconscious hears every mistake you've ever made, every excuse you've ever made, What are you doing to participate in the disciplines, y'all? What is discipline? Discipline is giving up what you want now for what you want most. Can somebody type that in the comments? Discipline is giving up what you want now in exchange for what you want most, what you want more than anything. Write this in the comments. All freedom comes from discipline. All freedom comes from discipline. Y'all hear me? If you want to succeed, then you're going to have to work on your self-esteem. And if you're going to work on your self-esteem, you have to work on your discipline. And if you're going to work on your discipline, it's going to have to come along with you constantly working on growing yourself. Millionaires, we talk about having a positive attitude, and I'll kick it with y'all more about a positive attitude tomorrow. But check it out. None of these were revelations. Am I right? Am I right, y'all? None of these were revelations, huh? So if they're so simple, how come hey, man, you better let them know, Hakeem. You better let them know we ain't designing our life for comfort, champ. We designing our life for growth. Comfort comes from avoidance. Growth, y'all, comes from progress. Comfort comes from avoidance. Peace comes from growth. Peace comes from progress. We want peace. We don't want comfort. That means we facing it head on, not running away. All right. Hope this was helpful. We out of here. I'm constantly amazed and disappointed at the small number of people that are willing to sacrifice and execute these simple daily disciplines. It's really disheartening. But guess what? Still we rise. It's affirmation time. I hope y'all are ready. Call in right now. The person is going to emerge victorious, y'all. It's not the one it's not the race that goes to the swift. Y'all know the tortoise and the hare. Victory don't go to the most powerful, the biggest. Y'all know David versus Goliath. Victory don't go to the lowest price. Look at Mercedes and then look at Yugo. Y'all remember Yugo? No? All right. Success goes to the one who is the most self-believing, right-associated, self-taught, responsible person who sees the opportunity and is willing to take a risk to seize it. Y'all see what I did there? Sometimes a big risk. I hope that's you, baby. All right, repeat after me. Was this helpful? Y'all learned something? You're going to give yourself some scores? You're going to give yourself some scores? Score yourself. Score yourself right now. 1 to 10, 1 to 10. Well, what did I say before? 1 to 7. Yeah. All right. I am so happy.